Today I'm going to tell you about how the Big 12 Conference managed to step in it once again by inserting themselves into the horns down controversy again, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, we're going to talk about how the Big 12 is inserting itself into OU Texas in all the wrong ways. But first, if you are woke to this controversy, you can get this shirt, Teespring. I made it. I like it. I ordered it. I'm going to get it. But let's backtrack for a second and talk about how and why this is a thing. All right? So first things first. Oklahoma and Texas both reached the Big 12 championship for the first time in its existence. It's the first time that OU and Texas are going to play each other in the same season since 1903. That is awesome. It is the best possible thing that could happen for this podunk conference, for which OU and Texas are really the only teams that matter, and they have proven that once again. Now, the first thing the Big 12 Conference did wrong, well, it didn't have anything to do with horns down, actually. It had to do with ticket allotments, because they only gave 8,000 tickets to each team. That's ridiculous. And because of the new tax code, which I get into, but suffice it to say, if you donate it to OU or Texas, there's a point system involved for which you get first dibs on tickets or season tickets and so forth, so on. Same thing goes with postseason games like this one. But there are folks who have donated up to $3,000 to Oklahoma that just didn't get so far up in the line that they could get into those 8,000. Now, seeing as Jerry World holds a ridiculous amount of people, this is just ridiculous because you know the Big 12 Conference is holding on to tickets. And where are they going? Are they going to fans? Are they going to the people who saw OU Kansas live? Are they going to the folks who showed up for OU FAU? Are they going to the folks who showed up for Oklahoma Baylor? Probably not. And that's a travesty, and I think it was a money grab until they say differently. And we know how folks don't like to talk about the money, especially inside the Big 12 Conference, where there's a lot of money going around. So that was already wrong, and you already have a lot of folks on edge on either side of the field, OU and Texas. And then Monday happened. And what happened on Monday? Everybody started talking noise. And that's one of the reasons I love this rivalry, and I love OU Texas, because the hate is real. Both teams really do despise each other. I mean, it's not fake. This is our Ohio State, Michigan for folks who aren't from here. It's actually bigger depending on who you ask because, well, Texas won a game in October, and Michigan hasn't won a game since Jimmy Kakis took over. So, yes, this is awesome. And then, you know, Kyler Murray was asked what he thought about Sam Ehlinger's game, and he said, no comment, which is shade. And I'm here for it. Players, give me all the shade you can for this ladder match for the belt. I'm here for it. And then Lincoln Riley was asked, you know, are you going to talk to your players about doing horns down because it was penalized in the OU West Virginia game, for which I made this video. And I thought it was ridiculous then. I think it's ridiculous now. And then at Lincoln Riley's coaches show at Rudy's, he said the Big 12 Conference has informed him that his players could be penalized for throwing the horns down. And all hell broke loose on Twitter, social media, the blogosphere, right? That is powerful because everybody, not a Texas fan, thinks that this is flat wrong, and it's also a place for which the Big 12 Conference is inserting itself when it really shouldn't. Just let the rivalry ride. That's what we're doing here. That's what is going on. People are having fun. And if you're going to penalize horns down, then why not penalize horns up, for which they have nothing to say? And it got so heated that the Big 12 Conference tried to throw out some lame tweet about how it's going to be up to the officials to judge whether or not the horns down is taunting, because apparently if they direct it at a player, they're going to call it. But if they don't direct it at a player, they're not going to call it. For which we would say, why would you warn Lincoln Riley in the first place? Because do the players do that? No. Do fans do that? Yes. Do fans buy tickets? Yes. The players, they're going to be on their best behavior, I think, on both sides of the ball for the most part, because they want to play, right? They want to stay in the game. They're not going to do anything that jeopardizes their ability to play and their ability to win. Fans, on the other hand, We are here for the horns down and the horns up, depending on whether or not you're a Texas fan. And if you're a Texas fan, you probably feel real sheepish about this because it makes you look real soft. It makes Tom Herman look like the kind of guy who points and says, hey, they hurt my feelings by throwing down a hand gesture. And for those of you that want to go with the gang-affiliated route, please join us in the 21st century and normal society, because it's not. It's no more a gang affiliation than wearing crimson makes you blood. No, you not Pyru because you root for OU. That's not what we're doing here, all right? So get off of that. That's a bad take, and I hope you don't use that one in public. But also, this is just perpetuating a myth started by Mac Brown, of all people, that it was offensive for players and teams to throw horns down toward Texas. For which I say, you're Texas. Grow a set. That's what you are. You're Texas. You're everybody's favorite enemy. You make more money than anybody else. You have the biggest institution in Texas. And you think more highly of yourself than you ought. In fact, most Texans believe they're still a country unto themselves, which, nobody really likes. I jokingly say that it's just northern Mexico because I remember the Mexican War and I was there for that day in history class. Apparently, a lot of Texans weren't. And that's the other thing about Texas that they kind of got chippy about. They've been annexed not once, but twice, right? So they were property in Mexico, then they tried to be their own country, and then the United States said, you belong to us. So they kind of been taken over twice, and they got a complex about it, for which, I know about that. I'm a short dude, which is another way of saying I've never been afraid to fight anybody. I've lost a lot of fights. I've won a few, but I've never been afraid to fight anybody. So we got to pop these Henry Cavills and we can get after this. In the meantime, I would really like it if the Big 12 Conference just stopped stepping in it, man. First, with the ticket allotments, which is egregious. And now, with this horns down stuff that you're making, you're going to leave it up to the officials, for which, it's a judgment call whether or not they get pass interference, right? And we know that, particularly in the West Virginia game, they got a problem with that. So maybe just leave it alone and let OU and Texas be OU and Texas for the belt on Saturday. All right, that's it for me. Doses.